Hello and greetings from Iceland. Today's update is short and simple and covers Grindavik only. And some of the B-roll I will be using is fog from North Iceland since yesterday. And in some cases, sea smoke, as it's sometimes called. And I think it's appropriate since I will be talking about the timing of the next eruption, which is just as foggy scenario as we see around here. And it looks now as Professor Þorvaldur Þórðarson will get the long shot awards of the year, since he pointed out 2 months ago that the next eruption would take place around Christmas, or when the magma chamber reaches the upper threshold. And in his last interview, he was mentioning that the next eruption could actually become our next annual bonfire. So he is literally saying that the magma chamber won't pressurize until it's full. And scientists seem to agree that the inflow into the magma chamber is decreasing slowly but surely, which means that this chapter in the history of Iceland could be over next year, because at some point in time the magma chamber simply won't be able to pressure us. So we could face a similar scenario as we got in 1984 after all the eruptions that occurred in Krafla volcano in North Iceland. And after the last eruption there, the ground uplift continued at a slower rate. So that volcano tectonic event was actually never called off officially, not until a year ago. And I did, of course, attend the ceremony for a free burger. So technically speaking, the eruptions by Grindavik, they could be over. The current inflow rate might not be able to pressurize the magma chamber one more time, although I think that is a long shot. And I do actually believe that there will be at least one more eruption there, since we are so close to the upper threshold, and the magma inflow is actually quite strong. And it is, of course, bad news that this is taking so long time. And the reason is simple: more magma accumulation means a larger eruption, making a disastrous event more likely, like lava flowing over the lava berms by the power plant or the Blue Lagoon, or even worse, into the village. Despite the work there recently, when the lava berms were raised a few meters, and we just don't need any more of this mess now. I'm also looking at this from the perspective of former and current residents of Grindavik. Many of them want to spend Christmas in the village, of course. Hundreds of people live there already. And with so much magma as we have there now in the magma chamber, we just want this over and done with. And it's still possible that this will take place in the first half of December. Like yesterday, I noticed a few earthquakes near the village. So I was hoping to be able to say today in this video that the countdown has started. And the countdown I'm referring to is, of course, the unofficial countdown that starts after the first serious earthquake swarm that indicates that the magma chamber is pressurizing, meaning that after that earthquake swarm, we could be looking at perhaps 2 or 3 weeks until the fire comes up, although we can expect just about anything. So it looks as we are running out of time in terms of getting the most favorable outcome, although we are still in the fog. And all we need is just one earthquake to set things into motion. And just days ago, you might have noticed yet another offshore earthquake swarm that, according to experts, could be a part of long-term build-up to an offshore eruption. And it actually doesn't matter where we look around on the Reykjanes Peninsula. There is nothing normal there. And this map includes all earthquakes in the last 30 days. And it is noticeable how absolutely nothing is happening by Grindavik. That has gone from being the tectonic hotspot 2 years ago into this. And the new hotspot is by Lake Klefarvatn, although the situation there has actually cooled down a bit in the last 2 weeks. And some of the action has actually been moving further east to the central volcano Hengill. And when we look at the extra wide view, again with 30 days worth of earthquakes, we see how the plate boundaries pop out, where they run along the Reykjanes Peninsula into the South Iceland fracture zone, where the tension seems to spread quite evenly all the way to the volcano Hekla. So it's not as we lack any tension on this part of the plate boundaries, and the year isn't over yet. And while I've been waiting for the next eruption to do a tour to the south, I've been working on the tourist department of my channel, where I just finished 2 long information videos, and it's more to come soon. And now is the time of year when the sun hides for the most part of the day. And this time of year can be very challenging here in the north, because we need sunlight. And I feel it very well how the lack of sunlight is not good for me, and actually getting worse as I get older. But this time of year can also be very exciting, because the very few and short-lived sun rays can create very special moments. So I kept myself busy this weekend, chasing all sorts of visuals, but I want more snow, because I want to make a long Christmas video, something authentic from the high north, or something to put in the TV to get into Christmas mood. So I'm determined to make as much from the little sunlight we get now, and hopefully get some extra special Arctic features for you. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland.